evening, and thank you so much for inviting me. I understand that the theme tonight is Follow the Yellow Brick Road. What does your Emerald City look like? And I was thinking about that for a while, and I was thinking, what kind of tools would you need to start your business? Obviously, you're in an entrepreneurial support class, so you're planning to be entrepreneurs. You're going to be owning your own business. And so one of the things that hopefully we're in business for is to make money. I know when I took my life coaching class, one of the big things that I noticed as we talked and everybody was talking about what will we charge for our sessions and what's going to be up with that, is some people would go, oh, I'm only going to charge $40 or I'm only going to charge $50, whereas the standard for it is $100. And that's what the industry standard for a life coaching session is. And so some of the people, you'd say, well, why are you going to charge so little? They'd go, oh, I just really want to help people. I just really want to be there and be available. And so I think there are a couple of reasons we have feelings about money, and one of them are, of course, self-limiting beliefs. I don't deserve it. I want to help people, and money's just not that important. And so I think sometimes we sell ourselves short in our relationship to money. So that's what I decided to talk about tonight. And so the first thing that I want to present to you is the idea that money is an exchange for your creative energy and expression. Whenever you go and do something, you're using yourself, you're using your gifts, you're using your talents, you are presenting forth something from within you that's worth something. And if you're going to do something such as a life coaching, or you're going to become a Reiki master, or you're going to do any other number of things, nutritional counseling, anything that you're going to be doing is a natural outpouring of your passion and your gift and your talent. If you're going to spend 6 to 8 hours a day doing that, you should be able to support yourself. You should be able to make a living doing that. And you should hopefully be able to make a living doing that, something you're passionate about, and doing it well. So instead of thinking as money is just something that's out there, when you begin to look at it as an exchange medium for your creative expression and energy, then that might put a different kind of spin on it. So that was the first thing that I wanted to present to you. Secondarily, I wanted to say to you that money has no value unless it's in motion. By that I mean that a lot of people want to hoard it, put it here or whatever, or this is just enough. The value of money through our system and through our world is that money is in motion. One person does this, you pay for it, that helps this, that brings this economy up. It's like a circular thing throughout our lives. So money in motion is where the value is. And then I would also like to suggest to you that there's an abundance of money. I routinely coach with people, and a lot of people have a mindset that money is scarce and it's hard to come by. And I guarantee you that if you start believing that there is an abundance of money, you'll be able to bring forth that with you. I was just telling my friend Tara that in 2009 in July, I was making $45,000 a year. I am now, at this point, making $85,000 a year. And I believe that it has to do with how you decide to feel about money and your relationship to it. One of the things that I wanted to talk about was the number of millionaires in the U.S. Maybe you don't want to be a millionaire, but let's talk about how many they are. Let's talk about the relationship to money that we have. A CNN Money writer, Aaron Smith, wrote on March 6, 2001, that millionaires are on the rebound in the United States and in the world at large, actually. The millionaire population jumped in the U.S. by 8% last year. U.S. households that were worth at least $1 million rose to 8.4 million in 2010. In 2009, it was 7.8. So what does that mean? It means that there are more people getting rich all the time. And then there was even a broader affluence at a little bit lower of a level. In households that have 500,000 or more, that population also grew too. In the world, in 2010, there were 10,900,000. That's a 9-point increase in millionaires in just 1 year. In the U.S., we had 2,886,200. In 2010, we had 3,104. That's an increase of 8.3%. Japan, which was after the U.S., had 1,650,000 in 2009. And in 2010, it had 1,739, a 5.4 increase. Germany experienced a 7.2 increase, and as you know, it's one of the more stable European nations financially and economically. Germany, 861,500 in 2009, and in 2010 it was 924,000. So there's a lot of money out there. And for those of us who are running around going, there's not enough money, I can't pay my bills, why is everything always breaking? I think it's our relationship to how we feel about money that actually needs to be refocused and be reframed by ourselves. In the U.S., the millionaires in the U.S., in Los Angeles County, in 2010, there were 268,138. Cook County, Illinois, we had 171,118. Orange County, California, 116,157. Now here's a number that hits a little closer to home. Maricopa County, 113,414 millionaires. Somebody you know is a millionaire. There's a neighbor around you who has a lot of money. So the distribution of wealth is an interesting thing. And the distribution of wealth at the end of 2001, 10% of the population owned 71% of the wealth, with the top 1% of them owning 38%. At the bottom, 40% owned less than 1% of the nation's wealth. Just in August of this year, PBS had a report that they called Land of the Free, Home of the Broke. The top 20% of Americans hold 84% of the U.S. wealth. 20% of Americans have 84% of the wealth. That's a little bit frightening of a number. The second 20% after that holds 11% of the wealth. The third, only 4%. And if you look at the wealth distribution chart on the middle of page 2, you can see the distribution. You can see the green is those 20% who own 84% of the wealth. There's a very small number of them. The second one is the 20% who owns 11. And so forth. And then if you look at that, it says the people who are very, very poor don't even show up. So if you're really, really poor, you didn't even make the chart. And you may not want to be a millionaire, but what does this leave you with? There's plenty of money there. You're giving valuable services. You're providing valuable gifts. You have valuable products to sell. You're a valuable human being. So where does this leave you? And I think this leaves you with some questions about what you want out of your business as a business owner. One of them being, what do you want? How much of whatever it is that you want do you want? And when do you want it? What's your time frame for that? You're opening a business. What's unique about you? What is the well-formed outcome? What is the result you are seeking? Are you seeking financial independence? Are you seeking residual income? Are you seeking more freedom and time of money? Do you want to travel? What is it that you are looking for? And I think that those are really great questions to be asking yourself, as some of you are going to be graduating in January and embarking on a career. You really need to distinguish what it is that you want. And then the last thing I want to ask you is, do you have a mindset which is a mindset of abundance, or do you have a poverty mindset? If you have a poverty mindset and you think that there's not enough, guess what? There's never going to be enough. If you think that you're always going to have to work and struggle and scratch just to barely break even, guess what? You just created that you're always going to have to struggle and scratch and just do these things to just break even. So when you start trying to define your goal, like where do you want to live? What kind of car do you want to drive? What's the lifestyle you're looking for? How do you want to dress? Do you want a family? Really, think about what it is that you want from your business, from your life, and from yourself. And once you've figured out what you want, take that list you've just made and put a date next to it. You don't put a date next to it, it's not going to happen. You're not going to line up with it, you're not going to be in concurrence with it, and you're not going to bring it forward to yourself. I would really suggest that you really put a date to it. For instance, I want 35 clients every month by June 15th, 2012. Whatever it is that you want, be very, very specific with it. Speak it into existence, declare it, write it down, focus on it, put it on a card, carry it with you, put it in your car, tape it to your mirror. Do whatever it is that brings that to you, because your subconscious wants to serve you and bring you exactly what you want, but first you must tell it what you're looking for. Examine your beliefs that you have around money. Some of the positive things about money that we really maybe don't think about too much is that if I have enough money, I have freedom of time. A lot of us are afraid that if we have money or if we have too much of it, like there's such a thing, that it's going to change who we are somehow, that we're not going to have the same personality, that we're not going to have the same values or the same goals. And I think that money is an exaggerator. Whatever you already are, it's going to exaggerate what's already there. If you're a grouchy poor person, you're going to be a grouchy rich person. So it really will exaggerate and extend whatever's there, but having money is not a bad thing. So your relationship to money, I want you to think about this. Whatever your personal relationship to money is, that's what your business relationship to money is going to be. If you think you're not worth it as a person, you're not going to think you're worth it as a business proprietor. You're going to let your clients come in and just give you pennies and throw you peanuts. And you're going to say, it's okay, I'm providing a valuable service. But remember, we're talking about your expression of your self-worth, your time, your energy, your self-expression here. You're exchanging that. You're exchanging your time and your talent for a medium. So it's not like money is some wicked thing. But it is your personal relationship to money that's going to set the stage for you, how your business flows in and works for you. Here's another scary thing to think about. Take your 5 best friends. Find out how much they're making a year. Add them together, average it. That's your income. So if you're surrounding yourself with people who make $30,000 a year, you're probably making $30,000 a year. If you surround yourself with people who are making more, your income's going to go up. It's all in relation to what you're up to and who you're with. So do you want a job or do you want a business? A job is a journey of the broke, and a business is something that you create. Instead of getting a job, I'd really challenge you to consider getting your MBA and getting a massive bank account. So if money is the exchange medium for your creative expression and energy, what do you see yourself as an expression? If money were the way you were measuring your self-expression and energy, how high would that be? What are you worth? Your thoughts need to be congruent with whatever it is that you want to achieve as an individual, as a business owner, and that relates to the area of money and finance. And you have to believe to achieve. And that concludes my thoughts on money and our relationship to it. Thank you so much.
Any questions for Rhonda?
Yes.
I'd like to hear a bit more about what you do.
What I do, actually, I'm like an insane lady at the moment. I'm a marketing director. I contract as a director of social media and internet strategies. I do my life coaching, I'm writing a book, and I'm creating a company to do search engine optimization. And I declared that next year I'm making $300,000, which means I have to come up with $25,000 a month. I personally had a real struggle with money, and I had it for most of my life. And I really thought that if I had too much money, I'd get up there, I'd be earning pretty well, and I'd kind of self-sabotage, and then it was like, oh, I can't make more than that because I'll be a bad person, or those are the rich people, and we're to, shun them. They're bad, they're wrong, they're mean, they're offensive, whatever. And I really had to have a breakthrough in money myself to really realize that money isn't evil in itself, it's not good in itself, it's really just neutral, it's just an exchange medium. Thank you so much.